release in Tekken 8, and we're going to have access for him. Everything just went live if you have early access. Now, this does mean if you decide to purchase him after, you can do that. He will be available for everyone then on October 3rd. So, let's take a look at a bit of the history of this character here for Tekken 8 and his moveset and a couple of new things that have been brought into his world of Tekken that is from Tekken 8. So what we're going to have here first in the character select screen is the original default outfit here for Heihachi, and we're going to see that he's going to have the insignia of the warrior monks on his gi. Whoops. On the back, he is going to have his tiger, which does signify strength historically. And he's going to have prayer beads on his wrist and on his neck, which when he reaches Ultimate Warrior, they are actually going to explode, which is really, really cool. He has on, of course, his belt to say what status he is, and then that is a prayer rope on him also. So for being thrown into a volcano, he looks pretty good. Now this is an additional outfit here for Heihachi in his storyline, and you know, love the traditional hat. He has a tiger mask. He does have these large jeweled bands on his arms and wrists, and then he has I believe that's a coin on his waist there. It's very, very nice. Okay.
Get ready for the next battle.
Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is go through the history of Heihachi, and what we know is that he has been in Tekken since the very, very, very first Tekken game, and that was in, I believe, 93. Let me make sure of that again real quick. I had remembered it, and then it just flew out of my head there. (1994). Back in 1994. 1 year off. So, generally, the story of Tekken. Heihachi is a massive center figure, protagonist for this story, besides Kazuya and then Jin later on. So, Jinpachi, who is Heihachi's father, founded Mishima Zaibatsu, and as he was running this company and everything, Heihachi ended up marrying Kazumi, his wife, and they had a Kazuya together. At that point, when Kazuya was starting to grow up, and they were a happy family, everything was really nice, and Jinpachi was a really, really good guy. He founded this company. He was teaching Heihachi martial arts. He was teaching Kazumi martial arts. Kazuya comes along, and he's like 3 years old, 4 years old, and they're starting to teach him things too. So, Heihachi, for whatever reason, decides to overthrow his father and he does it to take over the family business. He does that, and everybody's in shock. Kazumi's in shock, Jinpachi's in shock. Nobody expected it, right? Kazuya's too young to know anything. He's like 3 or 4 years old. So they're going, there's something wrong here. Something happened. Heihachi's in charge of the company, and his wife starts noticing changes in his behavior where he's getting out of control, in addition to this hostile takeover. So off and on, she starts feeling out of sorts and feeling ill, and then she comes up to him in the secluded training ground in the dojo and basically attacks him, and has turned into a demon, a devil. Now the interesting thing is that the branch of demons and devils that she was supposedly in was to sort of keep order in the earth and make sure people don't get too far out of control in obsessive, greed and traits and things like that, but also to help keep proper order and balance and make sure that everything's running cohesively and is okay. They're sort of like guardians. She had ties to Akuma in the Street Fighter series through that. So she goes and attacks Heihachi, and they fight, and she dies. Now, this means that you have a man who is on a obsessive quest for power, and he has taken over this massive family business, and he's getting stronger and stronger and stronger. He killed his wife, who, granted, either had become possessed along the way, or she was born like that. His father, who started this company, he imprisoned underneath a dojo because of his greed, right? And he now has his son, who is probably about 4 or 5 years old. He is afraid that because his wife turned into this demon and attacked him, that there could be something genetically going on in his son. So what he ends up doing is he ends up beating Kazuya, and then he grabs him and throws him off a cliff. And his thought is, if he makes it up the cliff, then he's not a devil. So he boots him off this cliff, right, this mountain. Kazuya almost dies. It awakens whatever this devil gene is in him, and actually helps him survive to get through back to the house, ironically, to live with him and try to get stronger and build himself along the way. Time passes, and on one of Heihachi's business trips, he went to China, and he saw Lee, and Lee was basically an orphan living on the streets, and he grabs Lee and adopts him, and he brings him home. He brings him home to have another successor to the Mishima Zabatsu, but also so that Kazuya would have competition, and nobody was basically feeling very comfortable with each other, and that they were always at each other's throats to be strong and have competition. Lee is about 6 months younger than Kazuya is, but they're close to the same age. Years pass, about 10-15 years. Heihachi is out on the road, right? Doing business. And he's in Sweden. And he ends up sleeping with a Swedish lady and has a child with her. That child is Lars, okay? Heihachi had Lars because he wasn't sure if the devil gene that he had experienced through his wife and through, well, what he was hoping was, because he didn't experience anything with Kazuya yet, was that it wasn't his DNA that did it. So Lars is now in the picture. So now Tekken 1 starts. Okay? And Kazuya's in his mid-20s. And he's traveling the world and he's fighting these different fighters and he's getting stronger and stronger and stronger. And he's getting stronger because he wants to kick his dad's ass. So Heihachi says, alright, this is Tekken 1. I'm throwing a Tekken tournament, which is a fighting tournament. So Kazuya enters with the sole purpose of just trying to defeat his dad and then take over the company. And he does that. He defeats his dad, he takes over the company, and he says, you know what, you threw me off the cliff, I'm going to throw you off the same cliff because it's not freaking fair. So he grabs him, he bops him off the cliff. Now, Heihachi, as far as it's different sources for different things, we're led to believe that he survives the fall. And he's super angry and climbs his way out of the cliff. Now, Kazuya doesn't know this, right? He thinks his dad is dead. So he goes to Mishima Zaibatsu and starts running it. But he starts running it in a way that he's doing things more aggressively and trying to make big changes to turn it into a bigger, stronger business. So he starts to aggressively go into gene manipulation, DNA manipulation, accessing more exotic animals, because Heihachi was into exotic animals too. He got his wife a tiger. He had, the grizzly bears. There were multiple Kumas. And, Heihachi was into a whole bunch of different things with exotic animals. So, Tekken 2 starts. And Kazuya's running this corporation. Jun comes along and says basically, I'm not a fan at what you're doing to the ecosystem, and I'm not a fan of what you're doing with these variety of animals, right? So they end up hitting it off, and it's the second Tekken tournament. He holds it. Heihachi comes out of hiding, and he's all healed up and back to normal. And he wins. But he doesn't just win the tournament. He wins the tournament in addition to Kazuya being Devil Kazuya. And he grabs him, and he says, well, guess what? I'm going to toss you into a volcano this time. So, he grabs Kazuya, tosses him into a volcano. Now, mixed sources. Does he actually land into the lava? Does he get ripped up and everything along the way? I don't know if anyone's exactly knows for sure, because it goes both ways. G-Corp grabs Kazuya, or they formulate him back. And he's in G-Corp. At this point in time, Jun is pregnant with Jin. So Tekken 3 starts up. Kazi is not in it because he's gone for whatever reason. He's either gone because G-Corp grabbed him and sewed him back together again like Humpty Dumpty, or they reformulated him using all of their biological manipulations, right, for DNA. Jun and Jin are living on their own. Ogre comes and basically, some people say Jun was killed, some people say she was put into the coma. She was trying to basically get rid of Ogre and save Jin. She ends up disappearing, right? Heihachi is interested in Ogre because Ogre has the ability to make people live longer, make people stronger, and do things like that. Jin is now about, maybe in his late teens. And he's probably a little younger than that. He finds Heihachi and he goes, look, I heard you're my grandfather and I am Kazu's son. Well, of course, Heihachi isn't that thrilled about that, but what he's realizing is that he needs to get a hold of Ogre to try to see if it can satisfy what he wants. So he says, all right, I'm going to train you up, and we're going to see what can be done and try to get some revenge for your mother. As he is training Jin over the years, they do form a little bit of a somewhat close relationship, but it's not the greatest, Jin ends up going into the third Tekken tournament. And Ogre is in the tournament and he wins. But in the back of Heihachi's mind, he's going, well, Jin may have this devil gene also. Jin beats Ogre. He ends up accessing his devil gene during the third tournament. And Heihachi goes, well, you know what? This is something that I'm not that thrilled with. And I think that I have to protect basically everybody else's safety. So I'm going to go and, neutralize the situation and shoot Jin. And he does. So he tries to kill Jin, or he does kill Jin. Jin's devil gene takes over and basically gets him to escape. So now Heihachi's going, there's a problem here. And he somehow gets word that there's something weird going on at G-Corp. So he gets a group of his own private militia, military guys. And he goes and sends them over to G-Corp because they may have a Kazuya there. And they go in, and then they see him there. And he's either sewn back and put together from the volcano, or he is completely cloned through. Jin, at this point, because he has won the Tekken tournament, has taken over the Zaibatsu, and he decides to create a world war. And he goes and he's doing this to try to get enough anger going in the world to resurrect Azazel, because he believes that Azazel, the Egyptian devil, which is really, in addition to Egyptian, is an Egyptian and biblically Egyptian and Jewish biblical devil. And he goes and fights Azazel, and he loses. Okay, he gets his ass kicked. And here, Lars comes along and captures Jin and says, "Hey, I got Jin. This is, finally I can start cleaning up the world here. Here's Jin. He's causing all these world wars, causing all these problems and everything." And here, Jin was thinking it was trying to try to help make things better, but really he ended up having a lot of people die, and it was a big, huge mess. Kazuya ends up entering in and going, "You know what? I understand my son's causing like a freaking big, huge freaking mess here. On top of the fact that when I died, a chunk of my devil went to him, and I want it back." So he goes and tries to get back his other half. Well, while he's trying to get back his other half, the devil ends up taking him over for a period of time, and he and Heihachi get into it and everything else. And then the next thing you know, oh no, wait, Jin falling to Azazel, that happens later on. That happens in Tekken 5. Wait a minute, I'm a little confused in my stuff here. The other half takes over, and he ends up getting control and releasing Jin, and Jin takes off. Devil Jin escapes. So now, between the fight between Heihachi and Kazuya and Devil Jin and regular Jin, it awakened Jinpachi, who was locked underneath the dojo, and he became possessed by a spirit also. And then that's a whole other separate story where there was basically a mercy killing and everything else. So time passes, and it's now Tekken 5. And here, okay, so this is where Jin starts the World War. Jin starts the World War, and Lars comes up and he goes, "This is crazy. You can't have this World War. You're killing too many people. There's too much craziness going on and everything." This is where Jin falls to Azazel, because he's trying to knock him out, because he believes if he kills the source of all the demons, then that's going to be it. The only thing he has to do is kill his father at that point. He doesn't have to worry about anything else. Lars captures Jin because he lost, right? And when that happens, he loses the control of the Zbatsu, and Heihachi is now in charge of the Zbatsu once again. So here we go. It's Tekken 7. At this point, Jin and Lars are on the same side, and they know that they need to try to figure out how to make the world a better place. Jin is hidden with Lars. Heihachi knows he can't get to Jin because Lars has him. So he starts going after Kazuya again. Kazuya's a G-Corp. And this is where, we saw the big fight between Kazuya and Akuma, and the laser comes through the building and everything, and Heihachi thinks he killed everybody, but he didn't kill anybody, and it was a big mix-up there. The final showdown was Kazuya and Heihachi at the volcano area, and they went at it, and Kazuya punches Heihachi in the chest and then supposedly dumps him in the lava, right? But there are conflicting stories as to, was he actually in the lava and had disintegrated, or did he land on the side, possibly like Kazuya did, and survive? So that is the background. It's there's a lot going on. There's a huge history there as to what's going on. Heihachi is coming in as the third DLC character. The first was Eddie in the spring. Summertime was Lydia. Fall is Heihachi. Winter is a special to-be-announced DLC character. He's coming in with the Genmaji Temple and the story of Unforgotten Echoes. So those are the story chapter, and the gameplay is free. You get that if you own Tekken. Now, you can get it for sale, right? It's on sale right now, and you get that all along with it. But Heihachi and the background is separate, right? So you have to either get the DLC pass or you have to buy him separately. And then there's the new fighting pass and everything else, and that's also separate. As of now, Heihachi is shown to have a very strong defensive play initially, but then as the rounds start to add and as he starts to gain tokens, he can really turn the tables explosively quickly. To play Heihachi really at his best, and really it's any character in Tekken to play it at the best, you have to know the frames of all the characters that you're playing against, and when it's safe to do something and when it's safe not to, right? Because you don't want to overextend, because then at that point, they're going to counter hit you, or you're going to get a trade, and it's going to be unfavorable. So, what we're going to do is we are going to go through the moveset of Heihachi, and then we're going to elaborate on what's going on in his moveset and everything that's going on with that. So, where's my mouse? Right there. Okay. So here's the move list. And we're going to go to everything, and we're going to scoot on down. Whoop. Okay. So the first thing we're going to see here is Heat Burst, and this is Heat Activation. It's a great knockdown move. So he has a lot of really good moves that's going to, you know, shove you away and everything. And of course, it also activates the heat. You know, getting the heat dash in there. Now, see where it says here, gain 1 ultimate count upon heat activation? That is the token. And he can gain 3. Now, the interesting thing is that he can get these, and pretty much you can earn them, or they'll give it to you automatically, so that no matter what, by the time it's the third round, you can gain Ultimate Heihachi, which is nice. So here is a little bit of a stance combo here. Now, this move here he does have access to 2 stances, and one is after the Thunder God and one is the Wind God, so it's Fujin and Rajin, and they are new moves for him. They're both strong. He can do a stance into an electric. He can do a stance into a grab. And the grab is a homing mid stance. So that is all for Fujin. In Rajin's stance, it's a homing high move that can guard break. And it's unbreakable to throws. And that's the Rajin stance. And they're saying you have to try to duck it. I like how they have him laughing. You know, the things that he's doing looks like it hurts real bad. Okay, so this shadow step here is an enhanced movement that Heihachi has, and in Tekken 7 you could do this, and it wouldn't really cost anything, right? In Tekken 8, you can access this, but it will eat your heat bar, okay? So you do that, you're done. And really, it's very cool. I mean, you can use it to get out of a situation, but at the same time, to use your heat, you can use it better to enhance your moves, you know, to get your, you know, your burst combo. You know, you can use it in other ways that can be actually utilized a little bit more. But if you need to get out of the way, this is a good option. Okay, so this is the Rajin. I believe this is the Rajin stance. So he'll stay in that stance for a little bit until you cancel him out of it. And then that's when you have the option of the homing high, which is the guard break, or the unbreakable throw. Ooh, that looks like it hurts too. Everything he does looks like it hurts real bad. The interesting thing is that in his background there, he has a gate, Torii gate, and that's, you know, considered a holy area, and he's standing in the center of it, which means, you know, only gods are supposed to stand in the center of those gates. And then in the very center above there, it looks like an eclipse, or it could have ties to the subconscious realm. And there's a lot of the green smoke and the neon green going on behind there also. So I believe that it has ties to the subconscious. That's a Mishima combo there. You know, the thing is that also he really can deal the damage. He can really put it out. I do that every once in a while. Chrome Dome. It's a stance. It's another, yeah, that's the second stance. It's a shift in stances. activation, heat activation. So when he does any of these heat activations, he will get a token. With 3 tokens, you can access Ultimate Heihachi, and you know, it'll go into a activation, a heat smash, and then he will get huge damage and huge range. Now, I don't know if you guys notice, but what happens is that he's activating. And he's red. His scar in his chest is more prominent. He's smoking. And his beads are gone. So his beads got blown off, right? So that is ultimate. That is ultimate Heihachi right there. So when you access this, it will last the whole round. And you will get some recoverable health from him as long as it's the gray life health. His damage against the other person is permanent, and they do not get gray life at that point. Some of his attacks are actually going to be enhanced in this state, but you have to earn it, and you have to have 3 tokens for it, and then you activate it, and it's the whole time. The idea of when he is in this mode is that he is supposed to be as if he's the ending boss. He is the final boss of the game, and that's the idea that they really want to impress on people. Was once he reaches 3 tokens for Ultimate Heihachi, Ultimate Warrior, then this is Heihachi's final form of Ultimate Boss that you're playing at the end of like the story mode or the arcade game. So in the heat engager and everything, or the heat burst, he's going to glow. His hair is going to stand up, and you get the token. See, now we're back to regular. So there's activation again. Hmm. His, his design looks great. I think he looks very, very nice. I'm very curious to see what the hair down theory and story is. That's going to be very exciting to see. When they showed the trailer at Evo, I thought that he was going to be either Lydia's dad because her father is missing from the airplane crash, or I thought it was Goken. I was like, man, everything that I've noticed so far with Tekken has been a good 50-50. And, Tekken 1 being the birth, the introduction of Tekken, and then Tekken 2, a lot of emphasis on death. And the flip side of that, I thought with Akuma coming through in Tekken 7, that this may be Goken, but it is Heihachi. It is Heihachi. Very, very, very interesting there. Can't wait to see what this story is going to be. It's going to be very exciting. Very, very, very exciting. Yeah, lots to look forward to. How do we beat Heihachi? Well, with a lot of the stance characters, you have to sort of watch when it is your turn with them. Sometimes they can absorb hits when their stance changing. They can also absorb throws. They're unthrowable. I would say what you want to do is check the ankles, go for lows, and of course with any character in Tekken, if your movement is good, then you're going to have a much better chance. So sidestepping is key. Sidestepping is key, especially if he's on a rampage, wave dashing on in towards you. You try to sidestep that. Sometimes electrics, can also be sidestepped, things like that. Committing to stances can be sidestepped unless you're worried about the homing moves, which then, you have to be careful and cautious. But sidestepping is always a good thing. Good movement is always rewarded in Tekken. Yeah, and, the winning pose for Kazuya at the very end there, he has his head down, and that is a call to the Tekken 7, cover where Heihachi's there and his head is down and everything, and that's head nods to Tekken 7. It's a very, very big deal. Yeah, so that's a lot. There's a lot there, and we're going to go through the general game. No. Very nice. So in this area here, this is the general main menu, right? And what we can do is we can also change what character we want to see here in this area. So Heihachi is live right now. So he was picked first, right? But what you can do is, I believe, head to options. And then you can go in here and change. No. Character menu display settings. So you can do default, you can do whatever costume you'd like. So, you know, for the sake of discussion, we can put Kazuya back on there, default one. And you can have him in any of his outfits here. Let's put him in his purple jacket. There he is. Very nice. We'll put Heihachi back on there, but he looks good. He looks really good. It's really nice detail on his coat. You know, the amazing thing is getting closer to his coat makes it almost as if that's snake skin. I thought that was alligator there. That's something. It looks like it is around his hands. I don't know. No. Okay, so we're going to put Heihachi back on. So we're going to head back over to options. Graphics settings. Nope. Screen settings. No. Dang, lost it, guys. Yeah, it is under screen settings. We're going to put it back to Heihachi. Confirm. There we are. Alright, welcome back there. So, along with this, the new stage is here, and that is the Genmaji Temple for the Unforgotten Echoes storyline. You know, and we can access that, and Fujin and Rajin are here overseeing the, you know, the battlefield. Very, very nice. Here is the information for Heihachi, and we have him right now. But you can get him through the deluxe edition, the ultimate edition, of course, if you decide to purchase them separately, right? The new story mode has been added. Unforgotten Echoes has been added through. Experience another story that took place during the events of The Dark Awakens, which is the first Tekken 8 story mode. Turning on special style can be a great way to enjoy the episode, as you will fight using several different characters. Very nice. Now remember, this story mode is going to focus a lot on DLC characters, which is Eddie, Lydia, and Heihachi. And then the fourth winter character has still been is still a big surprise. New items in the Tekken shop. I'm like super stoked for this too. So all kinds of cool stuff. Let's head on over. The battle pass is really cute. Oh my goodness, look at these hats. Oh my gosh, what? You can get, okay, we already got all that sneakers and hats there. The Grim Reaper pack. Ooh, a little Heihachi avatar. Let's see. Ooh. You can get a skeleton suit, the scythe, and the cloak. Wow. Wow, check out Devil Jin. Oh my goodness. Huh. That's something. Law. King. Huh. Very nice. Here's a skeleton suit. Very cool. It's like a futuristic skeleton suit there. Scythe. Oh wow, is that big? That is very, very large. That's something. Ooh, you can swing it around. Oh my god. I bet the range on that's going to be real good too. Now, here are the sunglasses. Very neat. These sunglasses do look pretty cool. As you've seen, it looks good in them. Very nice. Devil Jin. Huh. They did a good job with the reflection on them. Very cool. Huh. Really neat. Yeah, they have this really cool pop-up shop where they have this massive Kazuya statue in there. It looks really, really cool. Fight Pass. Oh, so the first thing you can get is Jin's Nikes. Oh my goodness, look at that. That is neat. I remember this from Tag 2. It might have been from earlier than that, but I remember this from Tag 2. Very good. Ooh, an ombre sweater there, an ombre zip-up. Nice. Wings. Ooh, a big pumpkin head. A light bulb head. Oh, wow. Huh. Huh. It's a giant light bulb head. Who would have thought? Aw, that's pretty. That's a nice one. Got the pumpkin. Giant rainbow hat. Here he is. He's a little Halloween guy. Oh my god, look at him go. So cute. Huh. Very nice. Very, very... Oh, wow. Cassius is our last. These look a little bit like Doc Martens here. Nice. Cassius sneakers. Yeah, they're nice. They look just like them too. They are very, very real looking. Wow. Very, very cool, Nike. Those are real Nike sneakers. Very neat. This is the new episode here, The Unforgotten Echoes, new storyline. And if you go into the online area and into the fight lounge here, that is where the new online training area is. So that's also a very, very, very big deal. Very cool there. Very cool. Online training with buddies is such a good thing, and they brought it back. Yeah, it's something that Tekken usually has and does a very good job with. Hey there! The skeleton suit. I know, right? Very cute. Very cute. So that is about everything here for the Heihachi release, which is very, very exciting to see. Yeah, here's the shoes. In Las Vegas, I saw a pair of shoes. They were close to this, but they weren't the same thing. They were not the same one. Yeah. Yeah, they were something else. But they looked neat. They looked very neat. Let's check out the ladies real quick too. I forgot to look at them. So the ladies' outfits. And we've got a new hairdo here. New hairstyle. Sexy Halloween look. Headband. And the wings. Very neat. Very, very cool. Now, some of those things, remember, you can put them on the guys, too, if you really want to. So, I guess if you would put that on Kazuya, he'd have double the wings, but very neat. Yeah, Morgan wings. So overall, Heihachi looks very good. He looks very good. He does have a lot of power. He has a lot of strength. Ideally, play him a little bit defensively, but then you have to know when to, give your strikes and everything like that, and play him more defensively until you see the ability to try to get that good confirm, and then go in and then get the damage that you can. But he does have a lot of great options with his two stance switches, the Fujin stances and the Rajin stances. He has a lot of good options, including uppercut options, auto uppercut options through them, auto hell sweeps, and unbreakable throws, great homing moves, things like that. when he accesses his 3 tokens and becomes Ultimate Heihachi, he can be that way through the whole entire round. And he's supposed to be extremely difficult and scary, and that's supposed to make him the big boss. You know, the evil, the super evil guy at the end there once he gets the 3 tokens. His animations are really cool. You know, he ends up with electricity all over him and glowing red and exploding a little bit there. So yeah, so they put a lot of work into Heihachi here. He looks very good. He's not the traditional Heihachi necessarily that we know, that they added in things to make him more accessible to everybody. So that's a good thing. But his classic, he has classic options there, so people can expand upon that if they want to. Yeah, his final 3 tokens, when you access his Ultimate Instinct Heihachi, he's going to be really crazy. Very, very, very strong. Yeah. Yeah, his story with Kuma. Yeah. He likes Kuma a lot. That's his favorite. I think he likes Kuma more than his kids. Because Heihachi was looking to find a way to make life longer and be stronger and everything. He realized he couldn't do that through Ogre, but he had to do it through a devil, and that's when he got basically Reina. Now I believe he put her together in a lab. I really believe. I think she's Kazuya DNA. I've been saying that since the very beginning. I said there's too many similarities here, including some actual moveset similarities. That I said she's not Heihachi, but he's using her, they're probably close to. It looked like they were somewhat close, so we'll have to see. We'll have to see in the storyline, but yeah, very, very cool. Super cool there. Yeah, Kuma got some of Heihachi's moves. Yeah, his moveset too. Hell Sweep and Electrics there. Yeah. So we're going to raid somebody. Let's take a look here. Yes. So very, very good. I hope you guys had a wonderful time with the Heihachi breakdown. He looks very, very, very good, very good. And of course, all the options and everything, you're going to have to know really how to use him and use him properly. But because of the stance switches and everything else, he will have access to a lot of easier options there. Oops, wrong one.